Well, hey, what's up, everybody? Kyle Chastain here from Thousand Hills Church, and I'm doing things a little bit differently today in the form of a video rather than a written blog because I just wanted to be able to communicate with you face to face about something that I think is important, and it's something that's really helped me out in difficult times. And I don't know, maybe you're going through something difficult right now, but one of the things that I always talk to our church and our team about is that there are certain needs that every single human being has. Number one, everybody wants to feel like they're important. Number two, everybody wants to feel like their life is worth something. And number three, everybody wants to be happy. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody is looking for happiness. And that's really what we're going to focus on over the next couple of minutes is happiness, because there are so many things in life that we allow to steal our happiness. But I think there's a relatively easy fix to that, but it just takes a little bit of effort. Imagine with me that you're driving down the road, driving down the interstate in a car, and over here on your left is a concrete wall, 6, 8, 10 feet high. You know the kind that I'm talking about. You've seen them. And whatever you do, you don't want to run into that wall. You're going 60, 70 miles an hour. So what are you going to do? Are you going to drive down the interstate staring at the wall to make sure that you don't run into it? No, you don't want to do that, because if you do that, you're just going to end up steering your car right into the wall. You're going to watch the road right in front of you. You want to keep your focus on the road, because where your focus is where your car is going to go. Think about that. Where your focus is where your car is going to go. You know, the same thing is true in life. Where your focus is where your life is going to go. What you focus on is what you're going to experience in life. That's a profound thought. You know, there was a guy in the New Testament by the name of Paul. Many of you have probably heard of him before. He wrote a lot of the books in the New Testament, but one in particular was written to a little church in the ancient city of Philippi. We call the book Philippians now, but Paul, in this letter to the church in Philippi that he's writing, he's encouraging them to keep their head up, maintain their joy, and keep doing what they're doing, because this is a group of people who have been under persecution. This church in Philippi that Paul is writing to, they've been persecuted because of their beliefs. They've been persecuted for the things that they believe in, for believing in Jesus. And Paul is writing to them to keep your head up. Always focus on the good things. And Paul has some room to talk, because this is a guy who has experienced being beaten and tortured and being run out of town and having to run for his life and being hungry and cold and homeless and betrayed by his friends. I mean, this guy has really been through it. So he has some room to talk when he talks about joy and happiness. But I love at the very end, in chapter 4, verse 8, I want to read to you what he says. And this is the only verse I'm going to read, but I think that it's so profound, and it's helped me, and I think it's going to help you. In chapter 4, verse 8 of Philippians, he says, "Now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise." Those first few words, fix your thoughts, concentrate, focus on things that are good and true and right and admirable. Now, this is not Paul's 5 steps to living a happy life, or 6 steps to happiness, or whatever. It's nothing like that. That's not even his point in writing this. But I do think that Paul understood the importance of focus. And I think he understood that what you focus on is often what we experience in life. So if we're always focusing on the things that we don't like, if we're always focusing on how things aren't going right, if we're always focusing on things that we wish were better or different, and that's what our focus is on, that's what we're going to consistently experience in life. And when we focus on those things, it robs us of our joy and our happiness. But when we focus on the things that are actually going right. Or even in a bad situation, even in bad situations, there's usually always something good. I mean, you might really have to stretch. Maybe you wreck the car, but at least the insurance is going to cover it. Or you broke your leg, but at least you have a hospital with modern medicine to go through. I don't know. Those are just a couple of crazy things off the top of my head. But my point is that if we focus long enough and hard enough, we can find something good to focus on in every situation. And I think that's Paul's point. He's telling these Christians who have been under severe persecution, look, always make sure that you're focusing on things that are good, because if you don't, focusing on the bad is just going to get you down. Now, that may sound overly simplistic, but it's scientifically proven that whenever we focus on positive things, it changes our body chemistry, and it changes the way that we feel and act. And this is not just some positive thinking mumbo jumbo. The things that we focus on in life are the things that we're going to experience. Your joy and your happiness is in your hands. It's not dependent on somebody else. It's not dependent on your circumstances. And the quicker you can learn that and internalize that as truth, the better off you're going to be, because you can take your happiness and your joy into your own hands. You can step up and take responsibility for the things that you focus on, because the things that we focus on are going to be the things that determine what we experience in life. Thanks for watching. God bless.